snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do a book review, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is book number 2 in the Glamourist Histories series, which is by Mary Robinette Kowal, and this is Glamour in Glass. I picked this one up after having read Shades of Milk and Honey earlier in June, and I really enjoyed that book. It was definitely a big surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, and I already had book number 2 sitting for me waiting on the shelf. So seeing as they're pretty short and I had really enjoyed the first one, I went ahead and I just picked up the second one because I felt like it, and I definitely don't have any regrets in doing so. I think this is a series that continues to surprise and enchant me, and it definitely has a lot of influence from Jane Austen writing style. I don't know necessarily if I can pinpoint exactly what it is about these books which I really enjoy, but they seem really light and really fun and very fast paced to get through, and the main character Jane is definitely someone who I find interesting and who is a very feisty, sort of resourceful main character, and she has to go through a lot of relationship struggles in this book, which I felt were handled really well and handled really nicely, as opposed to becoming annoying or something like that. I think the fact that this feels like a classic but has actually got elements of fantasy involved within it means that it's much more readable to me than a classic is. It's not written in classical style necessarily, although it does have a lot of classical themes to it. It is really modern in the way that it's written and the way that it's very readable, it's very approachable. So for me, I think this is an easy way into similarly classic fiction. It's not classic, but it has that vibe about it. I think Kowal definitely knows what she's doing with this series, and I think she has easily found her voice and her tone of writing quite quickly within this series, so I feel like it's going to be a great one. I already have book 3 and 4 waiting for me to pick them up, and I believe book number 5 came out this year, but it's only out in hardcover at the moment, so I'm waiting until the paperback for that one comes out before I pick it up. Let's get into what this one is all about. The story in this book once again follows our main character of Jane, who we followed in book number 1. Once more we have echoes of Regency England. This time we follow Jane after the events of book 1 have closed and she has embarked on a new section of her life. She's become part of a new partnership. She and her partner together undertake wonderful glamourist jobs. She's been employed by the King of England. The creations that she is now able to weave using this glamourist magic, which is part of this world, are much stronger and much more enchanting and much more magical. When her partner decides on a surprise trip to go abroad, she happily accompanies them, and together they end up going overseas until Napoleon and the talk of war become major influences and major worries of the day, and it seems more and more dangerous to be British and in France or Belgium. Jane is a character who I find it really easy to enjoy reading about. She's likeable, she's intelligent, and she's also highly skilled at glamour, which is something that not a lot of noble ladies or noble gentlemen in this world can say. The good thing is that although she is good at these things and she knows she has a skill at these things, it doesn't make her stuck up, which I find some characters in classical fiction can be, and she doesn't seem to have that trait too much to her, so I definitely like that. She sees good in everyone. Equally, her resolve is tested many times over the course of the book, both with her relationship and both with the situation and the whole war politics that are going on around her. But when it comes to her work, her skill and her beau, she doesn't let this stop her from sticking up for those that she loves and whatever she believes in, and she does whatever necessary to get herself and her friends out of sticky situations. I felt like the pacing of this book was easy for me to get through, and I have to say it was nearly a 5-star review. The only slight disappointment for me in this one was that the ending was rather sudden, and I felt like things came to a very abrupt close, whereas the first book I felt handled it a little bit better, and I felt like there could have been more said at the ending. However, there are more books in the series, so I suppose that we will see the continuation of the characters in those books, but it did feel slightly abrupt and a little bit more abrupt than I had initially anticipated it being. So yeah, although I did really enjoy it, I did feel like the ending was just a little too sudden, but I loved the events of the book, I loved the characters, and I loved the way that the story evolved, and I felt like it was very readable, so I'll definitely be continuing on with the series. for sure. Another really fun story, lots of classical tones, visually imaginative with original magic. I really look forward to picking up book number 3. On the whole, I ended up giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend this series if you guys have never heard of it before, because it's definitely a really fun, light read, and I think they're great for whenever you're in that kind of mood. So definitely recommended, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If you guys have read this series or if you're planning to read it, then do let me know what you guys think of it, because as I say, I'm just really enjoying going through these books and having some light-hearted fun to pick up every now and then. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about books.